this week at their website, which is also, too, you guys know this, earlier this week, Twitter got hacked 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, there were, to be fair to Twitter, there were, I guess, 5 attacks, but then 3 times taken down.
And they're playing the Ukraine.
Yeah, that's what Musk is blaming Ukraine. Well, we'll tie this all together. It makes sense. The experts, like people were really the cyber attacks and stuff like that. They were saying the attacks on Musk. It was really clear, like the Musk and the Twitter defenses weren't very good. Like maybe the Twitter people didn't have good staff, so they don't know what
like
they're doing.
College level of the security, right?
Well, a lot of people quit
and
Twitter.
Great.
Yeah. Then you get what I'm saying. So because a lot of people quit Twitter or Musk just fired them, so they just don't. Like so that's what we're saying. They just said like it looked like too many openings were in their defenses.
Very easy to break.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, open the door.
Yeah. So that doesn't make me feel good about Musk having our financial data, our personal data, when he can't even protect his own company from getting taken down. So there's that. So what's going on with the shutdown? It even gets more crazy. That's why I call it a crisis. So the Democrats are in a bind because, okay, their voters are like, you got to fight Musk. You got to fight Musk, okay? So they're going to come out and say, they just announced it, like, we're not going to pass any kind of budgets or whatever and basically, kick out Musk, or we're not going to help you, right? And help you, what it means is that the Republicans are trying to pass a budget all by themselves, right? Now, it's interesting because if you go from Musk's point of view, Musk wants to run the country like a company. Now, how is that different than, say, government? How is it different? Like, how is a company different than?
Just fire people.
Yeah, whenever you want.
You're not profit. We don't work with you. Shut down the department. Like,
right.
The country. You gotta help everyone.
Yeah. So it's not like
develop with together. Even if I don't like you, we go with it. But
which actually we make jokes in USA because so we have the blue states and the red states, and so some people refer to the blue states as being like donor states, meaning that they donate money to the other states.
Yeah, there's California.
Yeah, so California, because they make a ton of money in comparison to where other states, they're just not profitable. And right, they don't.
Money for education.
Yeah.
Fix the road.
Yeah. So if the poor Republican states, the red states, didn't get money from the Democrat states, they would be lost. So actually, California would be way better off, joining Canada or leaving or something like that. I don't know if they will. I mean, there's actually I mentioned on the channel, there was a Canadian politician that invited Oregon, Washington, and California, so he's the West Coast, to join Canada. You never know in this day and age. You never know. I mean, like I said, it would actually be in California's interest to not have to support all those red states. I know it sounds so mean, but it's actually the truth, unfortunately. But anyway, I wanted to mention the bind, though, that the Democrats are in is because, just to be real, guys, if the government shuts down, it does hurt a lot of people. So we make jokes about it, but it hurts a lot of people. And so, what's that?
No. I can't really follow the Trump party.
Right.
But that means that's what Elon wants to fight, to shut down the government. So they do have two bad choices.
Okay, so we got to explain this because that's the new reporting. Today was Wired, and they've been having really good reporting from Inside Doge. So they're the ones who broke the story that most people is named Big Boss. It's stupid, but they're the ones who've been like, I think they have people on the inside. They don't not going to reveal who it is, but they have people that are in the know. But basically is, okay, if I don't shut down the government and I just completely agree with the Republicans, and I'm basically following Trump. That's we one option for the Democrats, right?
Just let them want whatever they
do. Just gonna try to agree or whatever, right? Work out something. If I don't cooperate with the Trump party or whatever, Trump side, and I just say, you know what, I'm just gonna just shut everything down. I'm not gonna vote for anything that you want to do unless you include us. There's been we'll call it a rumor, or reporting, how you want to say it, that Musk actually wants the government to shut down. Yeah, and this is where it could get really, really ugly very, very quickly. So basically, I think it was by March 13th, so like this week, like maybe tomorrow or your time, that basically every department has to have a plan for what happens if the government shuts down, right? And so then you're going to classify employees between being essential and non-essential. Okay, so you'll just kind of figure that out. And obviously that's gonna it's not that easy because what if you have an department that you feel like my people are essential, right? But they're gonna have to come up with some sort of list. So then the people who are non-essential basically just go home, don't get paid, that kind of stuff. Or even people who are still working may not get paid right away because the government's effectively no budget shut down. Now Musk wants this shut down, has been reported. Why? Because then once those employees are sent home and classified as not essential, what's going to happen to them?
And giving him excuse to fire them.
Yeah, and we're actually talking about a lot. The number could be 800,000 federal employees would be considered, quote, non-essential. And so, that would be like almost half of the government. It would be a real problem. So, I'm not saying I'm not saying hyperbole, or I'm not saying this is actually a real issue, and we're setting ourselves up for a really bad situation if that is the case. I don't know how this is going to play out. There's a lot of things we've been seeing with this Musk Trump stuff that I never thought I would see. Part of the problem as well is like money in politics, right? So for example, we all know that money is a part of politics. It's just what it is. But to this degree, recently the New York Times reported that Musk is going to be giving more money, more money to the Republican Party, and it's going to be different than last time. So this time around, it's going to be $100 million is the number that's being thrown around. And I mentioned this before in a prior video, but I want to go over it again. And you have stuff to share about Korean politics, but let me explain first. You have to look at the chain of events. So the recent reporting from the New York Times and Trump denies it, but I think it's true. Was that basically there's an emergency cabinet meeting. It was like a Wednesday night. They call everyone in, come in Thursday, right, for an emergency meeting, right? Everyone shows up, and basically people are yelling at Musk, right, cabinet people, right? And Musk gets in a fight with Rubio. Yeah, you remember we talked about this, yeah. And basically people are pissed off because Musk is firing people out of their departments without consulting them. You don't want that,
And he doesn't have any power.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, right? Yeah. It shouldn't be. It's all legal, right? And so then, after that, what it looks like is that there was a deal made to where, okay, Musk, you give us $100 million, and the $100 million will go into like a general kind of fund, not one controlled by Musk. Because the other time he gave money to the Trump people, it was still his political action committee. This is more of a general one, right? And then right after that, we have Trump selling Teslas in front of the White House, right? So it's not hard to figure out the connection between this stuff. And so, because you were telling me this before, there's political corruption. How do they do money? It was kind of an interesting one in Korea.
Yeah, there's a limit one person gives to.
Yeah. We have that too.
Yeah, there's a limit. So sometimes, the politicians, they publish the book. Mm-hmm. They have a book event.
Right.
So, and we don't pay book selling. We don't have tax for book selling, right? So you just go to event. Even if you just one book, you just give the envelope. We don't know how much is in there.
So it's cash.
Yeah, it's cash.
You're putting a cash envelope inside a book.
And then just pay.
Oh, you buy the book and then you just give them an envelope with a whole bunch of money.
No, you don't know how much is it.
I see. Because normally for campaign donation, you're supposed to put your name, how much it is, etc. So there's no record of this kind of stuff. Huh. Interesting. I hadn't heard about this book selling before.
They number.
They can buy.
They buy 1,000 books, whatever.
I understand. So for us, the way these things work is normally, again, in the USA, we actually do have laws where one person, I think it's like $3,000 or $3,500. It's not that much that you can give to a candidate. And then the way you get around it is you give it to like a separate organization, a political action committee. So you're not giving to the candidate directly.
Yeah.
And then that
If Musk and Trump are successful, tens of thousands more will die.
There is no doubt that Medicaid cuts will cost lives, and those people will die, suffering.
They want to cut Medicaid by $800 billion.
People are going to start self-medicating, and we know what's happening on these streets. People are going to drop. Many people think that Medicaid
just for poor children. That would be justification enough.
Because you got justice in your soul. You got Vaseline on your cheeks and you are ready to fight. Let her replace it, giving all away our money. They want to rip health care away from millions of our families.
Democrats shrieking at a healthcare rally, they're not going back. The way forward seems to be a hissy fit a day. The tantrum today was all about the big bad Republicans supposedly taking away Medicaid.
And our next guest is helping to expose how states like California are getting rich off the program. Joining us now, Economic Policy Innovation Center President and CEO, Paul Winfrey. You're a twofer today, Paul. So let's get right to it. California gets the second most in New York State, but California is an expert at using Medicaid for something else. What is it?
That's exactly right. So one of the things that California is doing, New York's doing it too, by the way, is that they are using a loophole within the Medicaid program to tax Medicaid managed care plans and then bill the federal government for a portion of that tax. And then they use the benefits or the proceeds that they get to pay for coverage for illegal immigrants and then also long-term care for wealthy people. And so we're seeing both California and New York really expose this loophole and bring a lot of money back to the state and spend it in ways that, should be illegal. If this was a private company, these folks would go to jail, but it's not.